Good morning. Thank you for joining me today. I'm a day late. I usually put a video on Tuesdays, but house chores and the real world got in the way yesterday. So here I am, bright and early, ready to have a little Commonplace glue book fun. Most interesting thing happened when I was turning pages aimlessly in my flower book. I came to a page of sweet peas, and popped back into my mind was Carol, the little girl, who used to walk up the hill to Mrs. Maxwell's house. Of course, I was not allowed to call her Myrtle, because I was just a little girl, maybe 7, 6-ish. And in her side garden, she had a trellis full of sweet pea vines. It was a small town where we went for our summers, and she had sweet peas in every color. And the vine was taller than I was. The trellis holding the vine was taller than I was. And what reminded me of my love of sweet peas, another thing that you can't have in Florida, the list goes on. Peonies, lilacs, don't get me started on lilacs, and so forth. And I used to go quietly into her garden, and she probably knew I was there, but I didn't have to tell her. And I would stand in front of that trellis and look at the flowers and the colors, and I would breathe in that magnificent sweet pea odor. Those sweet peas were her pride and joy, because she presented them at the garden. The little town, of course, had garden club in those days. And just the memory just popped absolutely right back. I could smell them, I could see them. It was wonderful. The power of memories of scent and places that you went to as a little person to soak up beauty. So I decided today was Sweet Pea Day in my Commonplace glue book. The odd thing was, across the street, Mrs. Bowdendistel had a garden full of gladioli. She, of course, was also a member of the garden club, and she had the most gorgeous glads in her side garden also. And but they had no sense, so I remember the beauty, but I guess it was the scent that got to me. So I have decided that this is Sweet Pea Day. This is definitely Sweet Pea Day. And then I found these two pieces in my old friend collection of goodies. And I thought that I would talk about Mrs. Maxwell and her lovely garden under my collage. Absolutely done. Not quite. Changed my mind. Not absolutely. Nothing is absolutely, unless I get a sprig flying up here. Then we're on absolutely. This is Distress Oxide Wilted Violet. I do hope all of you are well. so distressing to hear the news lately. But even if we are well, we are distressed like the oxide. So, let's get this sweet pea down here. That's better. We needed that sticking up right there. So we're going to do a combo of PVC mixed with water and glue stick. Not too much glue stick because not too much PVC with water because it's, as I said, it's water based, and these pages I have glued together. But whoops, I forgot to talk about Mrs. Maxwell. Okay. Done. Done. There we go. Now we're off. I've decided to be a little bit more vigorous with the Yoo-hoo, and since I have been, I'm getting better results. Not that I'm exactly in love with it, but right now, but I think I was being too delicate. Put a little beef into it, Carol. Let's get the edges now. It says in the fine print. There we go. There we go. Up and at 'em. No dilly-dallying, because the Yoo-hoo will dry. There we go. Now, the most important bit is over here. I don't expect them to meet exactly. A little more down there. A little more right there. And next will be this one, which is going to get all PVA because it's a cardstock. and I always am so thankful for the lines on the graph paper. And this is a piece of overspray. So, thin, fine copy paper. And with tattered angels, and it's an iridescent. Not that it's going to be crucial that we see that, but there we go. Must get out my spray box and get going. I could stand some more papers. And it's the one thing I like doing. As many of you might know, except people that are new, I'm not a coffee and tea dyeing kind of girl, but I'm trying to work myself up to it. I truly am. It's just not easy. It's just so not easy. I don't know why. Don't have any idea why. I'm going to allow that to be one grid space away, because it could turn into a slight calamity if I wasn't careful. Yes, I seem to be getting more glue down on the paper now that I'm handling it instead of playing with it. Well, I suppose better late than never. Maybe I'll stop blaming Amazon for having it in the warehouse too long. But I kind of do that with mechanical devices too, until I find out that I've got to lean on them. That's that. No, it isn't. You just think it's that, Carol. So, she had every color of the rainbow. And I didn't have a favorite. I just loved to stand there and look up and look down and whiff. Then, of course, if I was very lucky, I got called in for milk and a cookie. Homemade, of course. My mother didn't ever question where to look for me when I was missing in that house. I wasn't upstairs, I wasn't downstairs, I wasn't in our own yard. I was either across the street with Mrs. Bowdendissel or up with Mrs. Maxwell. There we go. Well, I think that says what I wanted to say. And I think I have enough glue there that this is ready for future use. This magazine makes nice hefty papers. And will go away in my collection, which is getting thicker and thicker. I'm going to have to do something about those now. Alrighty. What are we going to say? What are we going to say? How about childhood scent memories are last a lifetime. Because goodness knows. Childhood scent. Whoopsie daisy, Carol. No, it's going to work. And what I found. Is it a Le Pen? Ah, yes. Boo-boo. Did I dot and cross? Yes, I did. And white eraser will save the bacon here. Well, this was not my neatest job. Too busy thinking of those sweet peas. Well, I do hope you have enjoyed this quick trip down memory lane in my Commonplace glue book. And if you have, I would appreciate your giving me a thumbs up, leave a comment. I do answer them, and I would appreciate your subscribing to my channel. Let's have a closer look. Sometimes less is more, and this is a less is more page. And I'm going to leave this bit of my visit with Mrs. Maxwell there. Let's see if you were able to see the iridescence on there. A little bit, yes. Bye now. See you again this week.